Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, tornadoes touching down, a win for the White House, and Philly ready to fly with the Eagles. Severe weather overnight.
There it goes, there it goes, there it goes.
Tornadoes tear through the South as a winter storm sweeps across the Midwest and Northeast.
President Trump taking steps to end the war in Ukraine, agreeing with Vladimir Putin to start negotiations. What a deal could look like as a federal judge rules in favor of the administration's buyout program, allowing it to move forward. But the question remains, is it legal?
Breaking news this morning. Attack in Germany leaves dozens injured. What we know at this hour. The investigation after a Navy fighter jet plunged into San Diego Bay.
Wendy Williams' fight for freedom. The former talk show host in a new interview from a care facility. What she's saying about being under court-ordered guardianship.
What led to the deadly gas explosion at a department store.
Out on bail, the Georgia mother accused of plotting to kill her estranged husband in the Bahamas, set to be released. What's next for Lindsay Shiver?
Shark Tale.
Please don't attack me, bro.
The kayaker chased by a great white for nearly 10 minutes shares his story with GMA.
With the rise of drugs used for weight loss, the unexpected impact they're having on some marriages.
Is Travis Kelce ready for retirement?
I know everybody wants to know whether or not I'm playing next year.
What the Chiefs superstar is saying about his football future as he tries to shake off that Super Bowl loss. Also this morning, the new fallout from those high inflation numbers, plus the major retailer announcing it is closing hundreds of stores. We have all the details coming up on that ahead.
We're going to begin with the storms all around the country. Millions of Americans are on alert, with California getting hit by heavy rain that could trigger mudslides in areas affected by wildfires. Ginger starts us off. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, good morning. So the two separate storms, right? The first one that caused those tornadoes, one of them in Columbia, Mississippi, quite clear. They'll get out and do the survey to see how strong it was, but you can see the debris flying in the second video here, even power lines flashing. So that was one. There was another one near Coffeyville, Alabama. The debris there in the streets, the trees down. They'll have to survey that one to see if it was indeed a tornado, but it looked like they're on radar. Then the northern side of it, there was 1 to 4 inches around Chicago. Parts of the plains got more than a foot of snow. It was slip and slide around there. That's still moving through Vermont, New Hampshire, the southern end of it from the panhandle of Florida right through North Carolina. Thunderstorms still. But I need all of us to focus our eye on California because the Bay Area is getting blasted already. It's not just the heavy rain with the flash flood warning that includes Santa Cruz at this hour, but winds. We're talking the Bay Area itself, where people live, could see 60 to 80 plus mile per hour winds. Then looks what happens. Noon to 3 p.m. the heaviest rain goes just south of Santa Barbara through Los Angeles into those mountains like San Bernardino, Santa Clarita. And that's why we've got a significant risk of flash flooding. 3 to 5 inches of rain that falls really fast. It's the rate that it's going to fall, 1 inch per hour. And Pacific Palisades and Altadena, both there. So those burn scars, they loosen quickly. They're telling people stay off the roads this afternoon. That's where you could get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, should listen to that without a doubt. Thank you so much for that, Ginger. We're going to turn now to the threat of mudslides in the West. California is bracing for heavy rain with possible flooding in burned areas from the recent wildfires. Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman is in Los Angeles with the latest for us. Good morning, Matt.
Michael, good morning. This is the Pacific Coast Highway. It is closed to the public because of that threat of debris flows. Houses here obviously have burned, but there's something else I want you to see already. This is the mud already oozing down from the mountains, and you can see they put out this water-resistant boom, those sandbags. The National Weather Service predicting up to 3 inches of rain here, but as Ginger mentioned, it is the rate of that rainfall that is the biggest concern for mudslides. And I want you to see that mountain. Vegetation is cooked in these fires, but also the soil and the rocks, basically making it water repellent. And that's how the debris flows can come down about 35 miles per hour, carrying trees and truck-sized boulders with them. Now, these areas are at this point under evacuation warnings. Officials say that it could very quickly turn into evacuation order zones, and they understand that everybody here in these areas has emergency fatigue, but they are pleading with the public to stay on high alert, at least for today and the next 24 hours. Rebecca.
A really tough 24 hours ahead. Please heed those warnings, Matt. Thank you. We turn now to President Trump speaking with Russian leader Vladimir Putin about how to end the war in Ukraine through negotiations. Our chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce has the latest. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Rebecca. Well, President Trump vowed to end the war in Ukraine on day one. Now, 3 weeks in, he is taking his most concrete steps yet to negotiate that ending, starting by reaching out to Vladimir Putin. This morning, President Trump pledging to meet with Russian President Putin in person after announcing they've agreed to start negotiations immediately to end the war in Ukraine. The president saying their first sit-down could be in Saudi Arabia in the near future.
I'll be dealing with President Putin largely on the phone, and we ultimately expect to meet. In fact, we expect that he'll come here and I'll go there, and we're going to meet also probably in Saudi Arabia.
Trump spending 90 minutes on the phone with Putin Wednesday, talking to him first, then with the Ukrainian president afterwards. Zelensky posting this photo of their call, writing, "Together with the U.S., we are charting our next steps to stop Russian aggression and ensure a lasting, reliable peace." As President Trump said, let's get it done. Trump saying the Ukrainian president would likely be involved in a second meeting. Asked if he views Ukraine as an equal in these talks, Trump saying this.
It's an interesting question. I think they have to make peace.
It's unclear how he would negotiate an end to the nearly 3-year war. Trump asked if he would support Ukraine having to give up territory.
Well, he's going to have to do what he has to do.
Hours earlier, his new defense secretary, Pete Hegseth, speaking at NATO headquarters during his first trip to Europe, was blunt, saying Ukraine's long-sought membership in NATO isn't realistic. Neither is thinking Ukraine can regain all the territory Russia has seized.
We must start by recognizing that returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective.
Measures that will likely be welcomed by Putin, prompting questions about whether Trump is giving up his leverage to negotiate with Russia. Critics like the president's former national security advisor John Bolton sounding the alarm.
I think we know exactly what's going to happen. President Trump has effectively surrendered to Putin before the negotiations have even begun.
Trump's call to begin negotiations coming just hours after Russia freed a wrongfully detained American teacher. Mark Fogel returning to the U.S. after more than 3 years in Russian captivity, imprisoned for carrying a small amount of medically prescribed marijuana. In exchange, the U.S. releasing Russian cybercrime kingpin Alexander Vinnik. The White House also announcing the release Wednesday of 3 other prisoners from Belarus, including an American who is asked to remain anonymous. We asked the White House if the prisoner exchange and the new push to end the war in Ukraine are connected. The timing of that is hard to ignore. Was Ukraine discussed as part of this prisoner swap?
I can't comment on whether that came up or not. What I can say is that this was a very good deal for the United States of America and for the rest of the world.
Now, as for when Trump and Putin may meet, that is still unclear. But overnight, Russia announced it is preparing to organize a group to negotiate this meeting. And again, President Trump has said he may go to Russia or Putin may come here as well. And in 24 hours, the vice president and secretary of state are slated to meet with Zelensky. What Ukraine may be willing to give up, sure to be a topic of discussion, George.
Okay, Mary, thanks. We're going to get the latest now on Elon Musk and President Trump's plan to purge the federal workforce. A judge has cleared the way for the buyout offer for more than 2 million federal workers, rejecting a lawsuit that had put that plan on hold, and scores of federal workers are already being fired. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is at the White House. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning. Well, dozens of lawsuits have been filed, but this does mark the first major victory for the Trump administration. A judge declaring that buyout program can move forward, and this morning the offer is officially closed.
Overnight, a stark message from Elon Musk, insisting the U.S. needs to get rid of entire government agencies to make sure the changes last beyond President Trump's term.
If you don't remove the roots of the weed, then it's easy for the weed to grow back. But if you remove the roots of the weed, it doesn't stop weeds from ever growing back, but it makes it harder. So we have to really delete entire agencies, many of them.
The billionaire, who is one of the president's most powerful advisors, comparing it to a large-scale corporate turnaround he did at one of his own companies.
It's like a big company, like a big corporation, American Incorporated. And, just like with Twitter, there was a lot of stuff that was being done that was unnecessary.
The president has directed Musk and his team to significantly cut staffing and limit hiring across all federal agencies.
We have to make our government smaller, more efficient, more effective, and a lot less expensive.
This morning, the White House closing its buyout offer to some 2 million federal workers with the choice to resign now or run the risk of being fired. A judge clearing the way for the program to move forward. The White House press secretary calling the decision the first of many legal wins for the president. But the judge did not weigh in on whether the program is legal, instead arguing the unions that brought the lawsuit don't have standing because they are not directly impacted, stating this is not sufficient. Those unions argued the president has no authority to make such an offer, but Trump telling me this week the Americans who opted in will be paid.
Can you personally guarantee that the workers who opt in to resign now will be paid through September?
They'll get their money, but they're getting a good deal. They're getting a big buyout.
Amid questions about transparency, Musk and his team have started to provide sporadic, sometimes vague updates about cuts to federal programs on a government website, which also directs Americans to the social media platform X, which Musk owns. One tab on the website states, receipts coming soon, no later than Valentine's Day. As the administration vows to root out corruption, his administration has ordered federal prosecutors to drop corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. And he has fired a string of inspector generals like Robert Storch, an independent watchdog at the Pentagon who searched for abuse, waste, and fraud.
When you just wholesale fire people like that without giving any reasons for doing it, it sends a message that that sort of oversight, that productive oversight, isn't really valued.
So Tesla, one of the companies that Elon Musk owns, is expected to be awarded a $400 million contract with the State Department to provide armored Tesla vehicles. I asked Musk directly about these possible conflicts of interest days ago, and he dismissed them, George.
Right, but we've never seen anything like this before, Rachel. A private citizen with this kind of power and these kind of conflicts profiting from the government as he's ordering cuts across the federal government. Meantime, we have the Department of Justice is also moving against New York.
Yeah, George, this lawsuit has been launched by Attorney General Pam Bondi. She accuses the state of New York of prioritizing those who are entering the country illegally over American citizens. She specifically highlights this law in New York that allows people to obtain a driver's license regardless of their status in the country. New York Governor Kathy Hochul responding, calling this a worthless, publicity-driven lawsuit, insisting New York is not backing down, George.
Rachel Scott, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. We're going to go now to breaking news this morning. An attack in Germany. Dozens of people injured as the driver drove into a group of people in Munich. James Longman joined us with the latest. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. A car has rammed into a group of people in the southern German city of Munich. 28 people at least have been injured, some of them critically. A 24-year-old Afghan national has been arrested at the scene. It's understood to have been a deliberate attack, and part of the investigating team now is the Office of Extremism and Terrorism, although his specific motive as yet remains unknown. It's a beige Mini Cooper he used to ram his way through a police line and into a rally. These were people out protesting as part of a trade union for the rights of childcare in the municipality. So there were children in this crowd, and among the injured, a stroller we've seen in the debris that's left in the street. Now, security is high in Germany, not least because of a number of these ramming attacks that have taken place over the last few months, but also because of the Munich Security Conference, which is taking place this week. Tomorrow, J.D. Vance, the Vice President, is due to speak. He's already in Munich. The President of Ukraine is also due to speak, President Volodymyr Zelensky. This happened just a mile away from where that conference is due to take place. Rebecca?
All right, James, thank you. We turn now to the investigation into a Navy fighter jet crash. The pilots ejected before the plane went down in the water off San Diego. Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz is in Washington with the latest. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Rebecca. Incredible images of this crash, an accident that truly could have been a major disaster.
This morning, extraordinary video of the Navy jet crashing into the San Diego Bay. Watch again as it plunges nose down into the water. And hear a distant image from a nearby surveillance camera.
They advised that it did land in the water. There's Navy boats now searching the water.
An immediate search launched for the two pilots after parachuting from the aircraft, rescued within 1 minute by a tourist fishing boat.
They went to the hospital to get treatment, and at that point, we just assisted with perimeter for this large debris field that's out here.
The $67 million Navy jet was attempting a landing on North Island Naval Air Station off Coronado Beach. As it came to the end of the runway, it started a go-around. The pilots headed back up, and that's when they ejected, landing in the bay, avoiding potential catastrophic casualties. That is Shelter Island, just a few hundred yards from the point of impact.
As the pilots ejected, it forces the nose of the aircraft down. If they had waited just a fraction of a second longer, that nose-down impact could have been into a crowded San Diego neighborhood.
The good news is that both pilots are in good shape, so they will be able to tell investigators why they felt they had to bail out of that aircraft. George?
Okay, Martha, thanks very much. We're going to switch gears now. Travis Kelce's NFL future. Will Reeve is here with the details.
Good morning, George. Good morning, everyone. A major reason why the Kelce brothers are so popular is their podcast and how open they are on it. So with the sting of the Super Bowl loss still fresh, Travis Kelce gave listeners a window into his thinking about his future. It seems murky.
I know everybody wants to know whether or not I'm playing next year, and right now I'm just kicking everything down the road.
This morning, speaking to big brother Jason on their podcast, New Heights, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce addressing retirement rumors and his uncertain football future.
I think I owe it to my teammates that if I do come back, that it's going to be something that it's a wholehearted decision.
The 35-year-old, 12-year NFL veteran also opening up about that devastating Super Bowl loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Kelce held to just 4 catches for 39 yards in the game.
It just wasn't our day. Couldn't find a lick of momentum.
Jason Kelce sharing how hard it was to watch the game as Travis faced Jason's former team.
It was very, very hard to watch. And I know that, I don't know, I tried to correlate that I was rooting for both sides the whole time and that I was going to be happy and sad regardless.
Eagles fly in Super Bowl 59. The Eagles winning their second Super Bowl title in franchise history. Now taking a victory lap ahead of Friday's parade down Broad Street. Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts taking some time to enjoy the view.
It really hit me when I walked in the locker room. And I saw everybody just so excited. When you are able to celebrate that moment with the people that have been there along the journey and along the way, it means a lot.
Kelce has 1 year left on his contract. If he were to retire, it would likely, but not certainly, be within the next month before the new league year begins. The only thing in the Eagles' future right now is that parade. Philly is going to be amazing tomorrow. Ike Ejiachi is standing by with a preview. That's coming up, guys.
Okay, thank you, Will. Also coming up, Eva Pilgrim here with the latest on Wendy Williams, who's under a strict legal guardianship. Hey, Eva.
Hey, George. In a new interview, Wendy Williams says she is fighting for her freedom. I'll tell you what Wendy wants.
We are looking forward to that, Eva. Plus, the new developments in the case of the Georgia mother accused of plotting to kill her estranged husband in the Bahamas.
And new at 7:30, the bad news for fabric chain Joann's. Coming up, the moment Eagle A.J. Brown made a young fan's day. You don't want to miss it.
Partners, can you help us out? Can we solve this problem? What do you say? Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. I remember it like it was yesterday. Welcome back to GMA as we celebrate 50 years of Good Morning America. Here's a great throwback. Singer Christina Perri helping us out as 25 couples got engaged as part of our big Valentine's Day celebration. That was in Bryant Park right here in New York City 10 years ago to the day. Very special moment. I remember getting a little teary in that moment. And we have something even bigger planned for tomorrow. Cannot wait for you to see that. And this morning we're getting ready for the holiday with the Great American Matchup and One Woman's Search for the Perfect Date that is coming up, guys.
It's so nice to be reminded of all those big days here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First, new at 7:30, for the first time since the pandemic began, there have been more flu deaths than COVID deaths in the latest reported week. The CDC says flu activity is high nationwide, COVID on the decline. Confirmation vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to become the Health and Human Services Secretary expected today.
And a suspected gas explosion at a department store in Taiwan has left at least 4 people dead and dozens injured. Footage shows a moment of the explosion, which occurred in a food court on the 12th floor. The president of Taiwan has called for an immediate investigation. And the crafts retailer Joann said that plans to close about 500 stores nationwide. The company says higher costs and waning customer demand are to blame for the closures.
Now to our new interview with Wendy Williams. She spoke about her health and living conditions, says she's fighting for her freedom from a care facility. Eva Pilgrim here with the details. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. Wendy Williams has been pretty quiet recently. Except for a rare public appearance at her son's graduation in December, no one has seen much of the talk titan. She's been under a court-ordered guardianship, something she tells us she doesn't think she needs and now wants to change.
Here's Wendy. This morning, legendary talk show host Wendy Williams is fighting for her freedom.
How are you doing?
How am I doing? I'm still in prison, so to speak.
The former queen of daytime has been in a court-ordered guardianship since 2022. Williams spoke with Nightline co-anchor Byron Pitts from a New York care facility.
Can you describe where you are right now?
Yes. Well, as I've said, because it's a fact, this is the memory unit. That's what this floor is called, the memory unit. And it is true that these people who live here don't remember anything. Look, I don't belong here at all. This is ridiculous.
In 2024, Williams' care team announcing she was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia and aphasia, which Williams vehemently disputes.
Frontotemporal dementia? How dare you? And I'm not saying you, because I've been accused of having that. And how do you prove it? By keeping me locked here so that I can't see. Look, I can't go out.
Her shocking diagnosis leading state court to deem her legally incapacitated. Now, in response to Williams publicly questioning her diagnosis, Williams' court-appointed guardian is asking the court for a new medical evaluation. ABC News has reached out to the Guardian but has not heard back. In a previous statement, an attorney for the Guardian said that because the case is under seal, she couldn't defend herself from the multiple claims against her, but denied all wrongdoing, adding that all of the court-appointed Guardian's activities are regulated and supervised by the court.
Let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics.
For over a dozen seasons, Wendy Williams reigned supreme on that purple chair, dishing out hot topics and asking the age-old question.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
But reports of substance abuse and health episodes would soon send her on-screen media empire crumbling. The Wendy Williams Show canceled in 2022. Her attempt at a comeback chronicled in the jaw-dropping docuseries Where is Wendy Williams? Instead, it painting a dark picture of her reality.
So you think you're perfectly fine having as many drinks as you want? Perfectly. Okay, but I'm just gonna put it downstairs to keep it cool.
Keep it there.
Okay.
Keep it there.
Wendy's niece fending off criticism that the project was exploiting her aunt.
I will say this, first and foremost. My aunt is the executive producer of this documentary. And she said, now is the perfect time because I want to take ownership of my story.
And a source tells ABC News Wendy's court-appointed attorney plans to file in court to terminate the guardianship. So much more still to unfold in this. Impact by Nightline, What's Happening with Wendy Williams is streaming only on Hulu. Guys.
It has been a tough journey to watch. All right, Eva, thank you. We turn now to the Georgia mom accused of plotting with her former boyfriend to have her husband killed. Linsey Shiver is expected to be released on bail today in the Bahamas, and Trevor Alt is here with the latest. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Rebecca. This has been a dramatic case from the beginning. A former beauty queen arrested in the Bahamas for allegedly hiring a hitman to kill her husband, and she's still facing major charges, but she'll be allowed to return to the U.S. for now.
The Georgia mother accused of plotting to kill her estranged husband in the Bahamas, now set to be released this morning on $100,000 bail. Linsey Shiver is expected to return to the United States. She will await her trial, along with her then-boyfriend and the alleged hitman that authorities say they hired to commit murder.
I can see the court agreeing that it would be inefficient and improper to make her sit in jail because the prosecution or Crown was not ready to proceed for trial.
According to the police report, investigators say Shiver admitted to sending messages and a photo saying "kill him" about her husband, Robert Shiver. The couple were in the midst of a contentious divorce. Police body camera footage from July 2023 captured an argument at their Georgia home.
We woke up this morning, we have travel plans to leave, and he's insisting that I don't go.
She'd send a message saying that she's going to change her plans and now get on the airplane with me and the kids to go to the Bahamas.
But I own too,
and
by
when
the
we
way.
land, she's going to go to her boyfriend.
Elsewhere.
And me and the kids are going to our house.
Linsey Shiver was arrested in the Bahamas 1 week later. According to the divorce filing, Robert Shiver has accused his wife of having an affair. Linsey Shiver accuses her husband of domestic violence. The trial's now set for August. Linsey Shiver is expected to return to the U.S. for the time being. She has not seen her children in months.
And there is now a gag order in place in this case, but Linsey Shiver's attorney has previously said the evidence will demonstrate Linsey's innocence, guys.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much for that, Trevor. Now with the kayaker who was chased by a great white shark. We spoke to him about the encounter. And Larry, you have his story.
Michael, imagine you are out alone on the water, you in a kayak, and a great white hot on your tail. That is what happened to a 19-year-old man in New Zealand, and he had his fishing camera rolling the whole time.
Great white shark.
This morning, kayaker Matt Wells speaking out about this terrifying shark encounter caught on camera.
I turned the camera on, and before I knew it, a very large great white sort of emerged out from the blue and swam under the kayak. Welcome to another nomadic fishing adventure.
The 19-year-old, who often shares his adventures on YouTube, was fishing in a remote part of New Zealand when he spotted a great white stalking him.
Please don't attack me, bro.
The shark seen swimming behind him, following closely as he paddles away.
We'll throw this water bottle.
Wells even tried throwing the shark off his trail by tossing a water bottle towards it, but it was not deterred.
My main worry was that this shark is inquisitive and he might decide that, hey, what's this? Let's give it a taste. I've lost sight of him. Please, keep me safe.
With no one in sight to help him, Matt had only one real option, to paddle about 2.5 miles back to shore.
He was really playing around with me. Very curious shark and a really, really cool thing to see, although it may not have seemed that way in the moment. Its main food source is marine mammals, and I'm a marine mammal right now.
But the harrowing encounter not stopping the nomadic fisherman from getting back on his kayak.
I don't think this is an encounter that's going to stop me at all. I think it's just broadened my appreciation for the ocean. It definitely got the adrenaline up, but it was quite the experience, and I'm quite glad that I had it.
Yeah, I bet it did get the adrenaline up. Wells says he was back out on the water the next day. He's been out multiple times since, but he's going to have a new level of awareness and know what to do should it happen again.
He was so calm.
So calm. And said it was great to see. Much better to see from our perspective than his perspective.
Yeah, the engine on the boat, not for me.
Exactly, Michael.
I'm sorry.
With you there.
Thank you, Larry.
Now on this rainy day in New York City with our play of the day. And while the Eagles in Philadelphia are gearing up for their Super Bowl parade tomorrow, one player is making a pint-sized fan's dream come true. Ike Ejiochi joins us now from Philly with all of the details on this very sweet story. Good morning, Ike.
Hey, good morning, Lara. We are here in front of the iconic Rocky Steps, where tomorrow it'll be just one of the locations for the massive Super Bowl parade for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the mayor expects over 1 million people to flock into city limits to celebrate, and they'll be here witnessing everything from these Philadelphia Eagles cheerleaders here, swoop, and of course the players on those iconic double-decker buses. Now, one of those players, A.J. Brown, he'll be here. He made a very special promise to a very special fan. Take a look.
Hurts lets it go, complete. A.J. Brown, he's in! Touchdown, Eagles!
Just days after winning the Super Bowl, Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown keeping a promise to one fan, surprising 10-year-old Andre Howard, who was seriously injured when a medical plane crashed into North Philly last month.
I hear my son, Andre, tell his sister, my daughter, Ayora,
Get down, baby girl.
Andre's dad, Andre Howard Jr., telling our Stephanie Ramos it was like a horror movie. Trey had emergency brain surgery, and at first, doctors weren't sure he would make it. But when he was awake, one of the first things he was asking about.
Asked me, we didn't play yesterday, did we? No, you didn't miss the Super Bowl. He's a die-hard Eagles fan.
And he got to see the Eagles take home the Vince Lombardi trophy. And then Brown brought it to him. Brown saying before the big game that win or lose, he wanted to meet Andre, who he called a hero.
How about that? A.J. Brown making these little fans' dreams come true. And that's exactly what's going to happen here when over 1 million people come here tomorrow to see cheerleaders swoop. And, of course, one of the best pep bands you'll ever see. And I've always wanted to do this. Guys, why don't you take it away?
All right, we love it. Thank you to the band. A.J. Brown, what an incredible thing for him to do, to make that stop. He could be anywhere.
He said win or lose is better when you win.
It really is.
Made that kid's life.
Speaking of winning, we have a first look at the Oscars menu. Everyone there gets to enjoy it. I wonder if anyone actually does eat at the Oscars.
Everybody gets an Oscar, a chocolate one.
Everyone gets a chocolate Oscar.
Yes.
Thank you, Lara. And after going public in her search for love, Erin Jensen, you spoke with her, Lara. Casey Erin Jensen picked Casey to be her Valentine, and now she is back to tell us about how their date went.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Breaking news for our viewers in the West. An attack in Germany leaves dozens injured. What we know at this hour.
Weight loss drugs and intimacy. Some say taking the medications have helped them drop pounds, but with an unexpected side effect in the bedroom. This morning, Elizabeth Holmes speaks out from prison for the first time. What the former tech billionaire is saying about life behind bars and motherhood.
Are you ready to find out if Erin Jensen found love?
I'm so excited.
After the USA Today reporter's nationwide search for a match, she picked Casey, and they went on a dream date, straight out of Sleepless in Seattle. She's here to tell us how it went, as she says,
Good morning, America.
Live from Times Square, it's Thursday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. We can't wait to hear about that date with Casey there. And the GMA is all about the love this morning. Tori Johnson is back with more brands we love in deals and steals, beauty products starting at just $5.
I love that. And also ahead, the new report showing rising inflation numbers, the fallout this morning, what it means for new credit card bills and mortgages.
Lots of impact there. First look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with a suspected attack in Germany. Dozens injured after a car drove into a group of people in Munich. James Longman has the latest. Good morning, James.
Good morning, George. A car has rammed into a group of people in the southern German city of Munich. 28 people have been injured, some of them critically. A man has been arrested at the scene, a 24-year-old young man of Afghan origin. Motives as yet unknown, but the Office of Extremism and Terrorism, part of the Attorney General's office, is now part of the investigation into his motivations. He drove a beige Mini Cooper into the crowd. You can see it smashed up on the street, and this was a trade union were protesting for the rights for childcare in the municipality. So children were in this crowd, and they may well be among the injured. At least one stroller can be seen among the belongings that are now strewn on the street. Security is very high in Germany more broadly at the moment. Elections are coming up, and there have been a number of these ramming attacks in recent months. Plus, it's the Munich Security Conference this week. Tomorrow, J.D. Vance is due to speak. He has already arrived in Munich. And Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, also due to speak. And this incident has happened just a mile or so away of where that convention is due to take place. That is why there's been such a huge police presence. The investigation is ongoing. Michael?
Going to turn now to Tesla. The company's stock is down sharply since hitting a record nearly 2 months ago. Some investors are blaming Elon Musk for damaging the brand. Elizabeth Schulze joins us with more. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Michael. Tesla is the most valuable car company in the world, but its stock has tumbled 20% since President Trump's inauguration, and that is denting the fortune of its CEO, Elon Musk. His net worth now $384 billion, down $65 billion just since Trump took office. After Musk stood side by side with his son and Trump in the Oval Office this week, On X, he appeared to dismiss concerns that his political work is hurting Tesla's stock, but we've been talking to Tesla investors, and some are blaming him for being MIA at the company. Others are still bullish, but they're pointing to headwinds for Tesla, like competition from cheaper Chinese electric vehicles. And Michael, some shareholders also did tell us they are alarmed about Musk's potential conflicts of interest, too.
Yeah, and then there's more with him. There's news this morning on his attempt to buy OpenAI.
Right, Michael, this is the latest twist in this public feud between Elon Musk and Sam Altman. In a new court filing this morning, Musk says he will withdraw his bid to buy OpenAI if it is prepared to preserve the charity's mission. Last week, Musk made that unsolicited $97.4 billion offer to take control of OpenAI, which is, of course, the nonprofit that makes ChatGPT. Altman flatly rejected that offer. These two tech titans co-founded OpenAI together back in 2015, but they have been fighting about the direction that it should take ever since then, guys.
A long history of bad blood there. Okay, Elizabeth, thank you. We're going to turn now to the new report showing inflation rising 3% from a year ago, up for the fourth straight month. Families are now paying more on groceries, used cars, medical bills, and more. And while we've come a long way from that peak a few summers ago, these numbers show that this inflation challenge is going to be front and center for some time to come. Also, it is a signal that the Federal Reserve is unlikely to cut interest rates anytime soon. Fed Chair Powell telling Congress yesterday he's in no rush to do that, as it can actually drive prices higher. It means those credit card bills, new car loans, mortgages, they could stay higher for longer. And now we're going to go to Elizabeth Holmes, the former tech billionaire speaking out from prison for the first time. Eva Pilgrim has this story. Wow. This is revealing, Eva.
Yeah, Rebecca, she's sharing details now about her life behind bars. She visits with her two kids and partner twice a week, saying being without them is the hardest part of prison.
We've made it possible to run comprehensive laboratory tests from a tiny sample or a few drops of blood.
This morning, former tech billionaire and mother of two, Elizabeth Holmes, now speaking out from prison for the first time. In an interview with People magazine, the Theranos founder describing her time behind bars as hell and torture as she struggles with being separated from her young children.
She stands there as her kids are hysterically crying, screaming, being ripped away from the person they love the most.
The article describing her kids ending each visit by pressing their fingers together in the shape of a heart, saying in unison to Holmes, "Mommy, this is our love." Their mother responding, "Our love is a superpower." Holmes telling People, "It kills me to put my family through pain the way I do." Holmes, once a rising star in Silicon Valley, adorning the covers of magazines as the country's youngest self-made female billionaire. Now a convicted felon, 2 years into a now 9-year sentence for wire fraud and conspiracy over her defunct biotech startup, Theranos. Holmes maintaining her innocence, telling People, "They don't understand who I am. It forces you to spend a lot of time questioning belief and hoping the truth will prevail. I am walking by faith and ultimately the truth." She now works as a re-entry clerk, helping women slated for release write resumes, earning 31 cents an hour. She also teaches French and counsels women who are rape survivors.
She wants to make a difference both inside the prison and when she leaves.
And Holmes is already planning for life whenever she gets out, saying she wants to spend time with her family and become an advocate for people who are incarcerated. The full interview with Holmes is in the current issue of People, now on newsstands and on people.com. And Rebecca, you know this story better than anyone. You did the Dropout. There were real victims in this case as well.
There were, and you just think about those children. I remember right before her criminal trial began, she just had given birth to her first child, her son. So it's just a lot for those kids to be going through, especially now.
Thank you, Eva. Coming up in our GMA morning menu, weight loss, drugs, and marriage. We hear from one couple who says using a medication changed their relationship.
Also ahead, a medical miracle for a young girl, how a breakthrough surgery changed her life.
Plus, the first stop for the stars after the Oscars, the Governor's Ball. We revealed that special menu. And Lara's upstairs with Tori Johnson. Hey.
Yes, and we are getting into the Valentine's Day spirit with deals and steals, brands we love. Tori bringing us great products up to 71% off.
So many of your favorites.
So many of our favorites and great gifts for Valentine's Day coming up on Good Morning America.
We are back with our Jim A. cover story, an unexpected impact weight loss medications may be having on some marriages. Ariel Shef here with the story. First on the New York Times. Hey, Ariel.
Hey there, George. As we have covered with these use of GLP-1 medications for weight loss, many patients have told us how good they feel and how it's changed their lives for the better. But some are now opening up about the unexpected impact of their weight loss journey on intimacy. This morning, with the rise in the use of GLP-1 medications for diabetes and weight loss, some couples say they are facing an unexpected challenge: changes in their intimacy.
My sex drive decreased. Our intimacy was very strong historically, and when you notice it beginning to drop, it is concerning.
For Vincent Hsu, weight loss wasn't just a goal, it was a medical necessity.
My heaviest, which was right after my residency training, I was about 215 pounds. Right after my residency, I found out that I was diabetic.
Juggling a demanding medical career and his health, he was prescribed Mounjaro to help control his diabetes and aid in weight loss. Eventually dropping to his lowest weight of 125 pounds, Vincent developed a hyper-focus on running. And that's when his wife, Grace, said their intimacy taking a hit as well.
The joke used to be how running increases your endorphin and usually, increases your desires. But then I was like, wait a second. You're running more now, but it's not what it used to be.
GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Mounjaro, and Wegovy list side effects from nausea, abdominal pain, and even mood changes. And while some small studies indicate there could be a drop in libido, other studies show an increase in sexual activity or no effect.
There's some anti-inflammatory components of GLP-1 that we could possibly see in this setting with patients who have sexual dysfunction. But again, I think it's too soon to say.
Experts say it may not be the medication itself impacting one's libido, but rather the lifestyle and personal changes that come with weight loss.
Any type of weight changes, it can absolutely impact the intimate relationship, the sexual relationship, the relationship as a whole. And a lot of times that is brought about indirectly by changes in our level of confidence, changes in our level of comfort, changes in our level of energy, stamina, desire.
With Grace's support, Vincent adjusted his daily routine by adding in weight training, putting on muscle, and his doctor recommended spacing out his Mounjaro doses.
Right now, I think I'm in a much better spot physically. And also the intimacy in our sex life has improved.
Open communication, letting your partner in on the process, the entire journey. So if you're starting something like a new weight loss plan or GLP-1s, that your partner is invested in on all aspects of that, and that we've discussed changes all along that process.
And doctors say more research is needed to determine if these reports about intimacy are related to the medications themselves or maybe other factors or a combination of both. But they stress that anyone who thinks that they may be experiencing a side effect of any kind of medication should just talk to their doctor. Of course, commend them for speaking out about this, but again, no causation here.
Right. Thank you, Ariel.
All right, Lara, what's popping for pop news?
All right, Michael, let's get to it. Good morning, everybody. The road to the Oscars is what's popping. The 97th annual ceremony just 2 weeks away, a little bit over, actually. And we can't talk about the Oscars without talking about the Governor's Ball, and specifically the incredible spread, if you will, laid out every year by legendary chef Wolfgang Puck, and now also his son Byron. Those stars are hungry when they get to the Gov Ball, and that red carpet is a lot of work, and Wolfie never lets them down. Take a look.
Hello, everyone. I'm Byron Puck.
And I'm Wolfgang Puck.
And we're so excited to be cooking again this year at the Governor's Ball for the Oscars.
And we're gonna cook some amazing dishes like our traditional chicken pot pie, macaroni and cheese, and also some new inventive dishes. Everybody gonna be excited about it.
See you on the red carpet.
I love Wolfie. Just love him. Thanks, Wolfs, for that exclusive sneak peek. He tells us he has 70 new delicacies on the menu this year, including taro root tacos. We've got them on the set right there. This is like an eggplant and mushroom skewer situation and a grilled, oh no, this is the nightshades veggie skewer, and Of course, they've always got that incredible salmon ready for the salmon Oscar bites. They have 220 pounds of potatoes for Wolfgang's extra delicious take on tater tots. And those are incredible. And everyone's a winner thanks to the powdered gold chocolate Oscars, the Gov Ball, which takes place immediately after the 97th. First of all, I should say it's the Governor's Ball. The Gov Ball is a concert our girls go to. The Governor's Ball is a very elegant affair after the Oscars. The Oscars airs Sunday, March 2nd, 7 p.m. right here on ABC. I was like, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I was like,
right?
yeah,
I'm like, is this
right?
not?
They've
That's
kind of aged out of
yeah,
it.
they have, thank God. Wolfgang Puck joins us live on the Oscars red carpet the day before, that Friday before the big event, to take us through all the preparations. It's always really fun. You never know what he's going to say. He's really just the best. We thank you, Wolfie, for that. And it's no secret that Kendrick Lamar is having a pretty great couple of weeks. First, he took home five Grammys. Then he had the most watched halftime performance in the history of the Super Bowl. His streaming numbers have skyrocketed, and Billboard's now predicting that his song Not Like Us will be back on top of the Hot 100. And it doesn't stop there. Turns out Lamar is making a return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe with a song for Captain America: Brave New World. Captain America himself, Anthony Mackie, revealing that Kendrick is behind the title song for the film 6 years after curating the Black Panther soundtrack. Mackie was tight-lipped on the details, but added that he respects the beauty and mastery of Kendrick's craft. And you know those Y2K flared jeans by French designer Celine that Kendrick was wearing during his Super Bowl halftime performance? The ones the internet can't stop talking about, the ones Will Reeve also loves and showed us his take on them yesterday. I don't know about love, but he was good enough to show us them yesterday. Well, if you were hoping to snag some, sorry guys, multiple styles of those jeans are sold out on the Celine website. I have it on good authority that Will feels very protective of his pair. There he is, getting ready for GMA3 this morning, and yep, he's wearing them again. It is a pop news investigation. Will Reeve, we thank you for putting up with that.
That's the nice part about a great pair of jeans. You just keep wearing them over and over again.
Yes. So much to say, we'll move on though. Finally, it's time to celebrate the female friendships in your life because it's Galentine's Day, ladies. The unofficial holiday created 15 years ago on an episode of Parks and Rec. It has since exploded in popularity. In fact, in the last 10 years, searches for Galentine's Day have risen 400%, and with good reason. A recent study out of UCLA says that maintaining friendships in all stages of life actually helps you live longer. Galentine's Day is meant to embody the spirit of Valentine's Day, but aimed at taking a moment to appreciate friendships. Happy Galentine's Day, my girl.
Happy Galentine's Day, Lair Bear.
Yeah. That's pop news, everybody.
Thank you. Happy Galentine's Day, George. Leave us out of that.
That's exactly right.
All right. Love you all, but it's time for me to go.
Go to it.
Yep, because it is time for Deals and Steals. Tori Johnson is back just in time for Valentine's Day on this Galentine's Day to bring us
Isn't it always
items.
like love around here?
Always
It's
love.
always love. Okay, so we're starting
Skincare.
with a favorite that we love, Strivectin. We've got all of the favorites for mature skin. Two of the fan favorites. Their #1 bestseller. They are the leader in the country of the #1 cream that is specifically for the neck area. So we've got that, obviously, and it's going to help with slacks, sagging skin, loss of firmness, specifically in that neck area. And then we also have, this one's called their Contour and Restore. This one's specifically for the jawline. Also very popular. So if it's time for you to replenish or you just want to start for the first time, consistency is key with any of these treatments twice a day. All 50% off plus
free shipping.
You got
I
it.
think you're trying to tell me something.
You got
Jaw
it.
and neck, huh?
Yeah,
I got to work on it.
You
Okay, Tori.
got those good genes from Mama Stray. All right, Laura Geller, another one of my favorites, a favorite in this studio. This is
Very popular
we
brand here
we
at
heard a
GMA.
little shout out. I think that was Lara. She's already adding to her cart.
Already got your Christmas gift, Lara.
Oh my God.
What I
I'm
love
actually
about
ordering
this
right now.
is there's some brands that are all about the trends. For me, this is all about tried and true. And when you've got mature skin, you want what delivers. We've got their color correcting foundations. They've put together also a variety of bundles for us because they now know the way that you guys shop and what you like to put together. My personal favorites are what you're grabbing right there. These eyeliners, that's what Lara and I both love. everything from Laura Geller today. Slash and half starts at just $5, including the tools.
Yes.
Okay, another favorite, number 7. So if you are dealing with some of the certain signs of aging, so specifically dryness, uneven tone and texture, loss of firmness, some wrinkles that maybe you don't like, the Future Renew collection, this one right here, the green one, if you're looking online, helps to reverse the 5 visible signs of aging in as little as 4 weeks. Again, consistent use is key. We've got everything from the night creams to the serums. We have 8 different collections from your favorite, number 7. These are priced great every day, but with our deal, unbeatable prices, starts at $7.50 and
free shipping.
You got it.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Okay, Lanolips. The signature ingredient in all of these products is lanolin, which is deeply moisturizing. So that's their cult favorite. That is what's called their 101 ointment. That's going to be specifically for super dry, cracked, like elbows, cuticles, anywhere that your skin is just absolutely dry. That's going to help take care of it. We also have their full collection of lip products, everything from the balms to the scrubs to the glosses. Easy one to stock up on today. Great prices. These start at $7.
Yeah, very moisturizing.
It's very moisturizing. All right. Then how about a little love for your head and hair and your skin? Blissy, better hair, better skin, better sleep. These are all 100% mulberry silk.
Feels great.
Super soft, luxurious. They've got a zipper, which I love, so it stays on your pillow, which is fabulous. Machine washable, which makes it extremely convenient to have. The colors are phenomenal. We've got more than 15 different colors. Are you lights or darks?
No, I don't care as long as the pillow's soft.
It's soft, right?
Yeah.
Feels good, then you're okay. I like that. We've got all 3 of their sizes, all of their options, beautiful, beautiful pillowcases, all slash and half and
free shipping.
From Blissy.
Like
you like that? That's what you go for?
Right,
all right, I wanted to get a sense of what you'd go for. Rose Farmers. I love sending flowers. I buy flowers for myself year round. Like, I'm not really into the overpriced Valentine's Day flowers. Like, I want flowers all year round. Yes, I do.
I like that too.
Rose Farmers. You'll get 2 or 3 dozen. You get to choose with or without a vase. They're long stem roses that come tall like this. They come just like this. Look, we made this we made that just for you. So get your Rose Farmers for yourself or for someone you love. Really good deals on them and free shipping.
Free shipping. Come here, Gary. Come on, man. I love you.
Aww.
There you go, buddy. You know what? Tori, I give you a hard time on the deals and steals all the time, but you don't deserve it.
He's the man.
All right, thank you, Tori. We partnered with these companies on the great deals. Get them on our website, goodmorningamerica.com. And coming up, Aaron and Casey's first date.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
Welcome back to GMA with the results of our Great American Matchup. USA Today reporter Erin Jensen went on a nationwide search for the perfect man to go on a Valentine's Day date with. We've been following her journey, and yes, they finally had their dream date. Take a look. Are you ready to share with us?
I'm so excited.
USA Today TV reporter Erin Jensen had us on the edge of our seats on Monday. Those are your 3 finalists.
Yes.
Announcing which suitor from her top 3 she'd be going on a pre-Valentine's Day date with.
I'm going with Casey.
Everybody check out Casey.
And I am so happy to be your Valentine.
Be nice to her, Casey. Mama's watching. Erin and Casey meeting for the first time in person.
Hi, it's
So nice to meet you.
You're
look
so tall.
absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Oh my God, beautiful.
Here at New York City's Empire State Building.
It's like you're Tom and I'm her. You're dressed just like him.
A landmark synonymous with romance. It's home to Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks meet cute in Sleepless in Seattle.
You're Annie?
It's beautiful, though, you have to admit. It's beautiful.
So, did sparks fly? And will there be a second date?
Should I propose?
Yeah, get down.
And right now, we're joined by Erin and dating coach Logan Ury from Netflix's The Later Daters, which is so great. And Casey is here waiting in the wings. I can't wait to talk to him. But first, Erin, I want to talk to you because I feel like I've been with you since the beginning here. did this search. You came on, you chose Casey out of all the suitors. You finally had your date with him at the Empire State Building. Totally adorable, meet cute.
I can't even believe it myself. Yes.
Tell us how it went.
It was beyond my wildest, romantic comedy obsessed dreams. To be at the Empire State Building, we even went to this area where someone was going to propose a couple hours later. It was just the most romantic thing.
Do you feel like you got a good enough snapshot of him, and did you choose wisely based on, because you had thousands of guys that wanted to go on a date with you? You narrowed it down to 3. Something made you choose Casey. Were your instincts correct?
I think so. I think he was so kind to everyone. He was so game. I mean, what a high stakes, high profile first date. And other people might have been nervous, might have shied away, but he was so great with the cameras, with my colleagues. And then at dinner, we just had, I think, a wonderful conversation that
was
let us connect.
Was there ever a moment where you didn't have us annoying you? Like your colleagues at USA Today or us? Like, did you have time by yourselves?
Well, at first I was so nervous, what did I do? But then it felt more comfortable as a group date. But yeah, at dinner, we had a couple hours, I think, really, to get to know each other.
All right, so now I want to bring in the expert. Logan, you're so good at sort of identifying. You really do treat love like a science, which you say you kind of have to when you're searching. So you've spoken to Erin. What's your take on this?
So, Erin, I'm not surprised that you made this great connection because you're truly dating with intention. You were open to new opportunities for meeting people. I mean, we're all here. You were vulnerable on the date, and I feel like most importantly, you were really clear about what you wanted.
All right, so let's see what it was you wanted. Casey, are you ready? Come on out. Everybody, the man, the courageous, the one and only Casey. So nice to meet you.
I have some flowers for you. Those are for you.
Oh, wow. Oh, you're a little angel.
Hi.
See, America?
It's not easy to say, sure, I'll do this. I mean, first of all, blind dates are nerve-wracking, let alone, I can't even count how many cameras we have here in the studio.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was the date from your perspective?
I think it was just incredible. She's so well-spoken, obviously, and it was spontaneous. It was fun, a little scary once we got up to the top of the Empire State Building, but just overall, a really amazing time.
So no regrets doing it with all the cameras?
Oh, absolutely not. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and who knows what will come from it. So
oh, good. I'm so excited. Well, you both have such great warm energy. I want to ask Logan, I want to get your read on it. I know you haven't really sort of investigated, but do you have any advice for these guys as they embark their journey, besides maybe not having us follow on the next date?
Yeah, I would say Erin and Casey, remember that great relationships are built, they're not discovered. So continue to invest in each other and really write your epic love story together. And of course, invite us all back on GMA for the wedding.
Yes. Casey, when you sort of heard about Erin's journey, what made you decide that you wanted to dive in and throw your hat in the ring, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, I did a little bit of reading of the article, and she sounded so incredible. And it sounded like we were very compatible and in our lifestyles. And so, you know what? Here we are. I took an opportunity, and like you said, it's all about taking risks, saying yes, and I think dating with intention. So,
yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like we're really off to a good start here. A foundation has been built. You heard it here first. Erin, I want to ask you. There's so many men and women out there still looking for love. What advice would you have, having taken the plunge? It's not an easy thing to do, what you've done. What advice would you give?
Be vulnerable, be courageous, be bold, be open, and put yourself out there so that wonderful things can happen to you, like this.
So, day 2 is a yes?
We don't know where it's going to be yet, as long as it's not 86 floors up.
Okay. All right, but it's happening.
It's happening.
Okay, good. Okay, well, let us know how it goes.
Yay.
Logan, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
You're the best.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Galentine's Day. And we will talk to you soon.
Now with Questlove, he's a 6-time Grammy winner, DJ, drummer, and an Academy Award-winning filmmaker.
Eagles fan.
He's an Eagles fan. Yeah, we heard that. Hey, I was going to bring that up, by the way. Well, he's out with a new documentary called Sly Lives, a.k.a. The Burden of Black Genius, about the life and legacy of Sly Stewart, the frontman of Sly and the Family Stone. Hello, Eagles fan. How you doing, man?
Good, sir.
Congratulations to you, Eagles.
Thank you.
First time on GMA, by the way, too.
Yes.
Yeah, so welcome
I came here
to
just
GMA.
to gloat.
Yeah, because usually I have to come over and see you over at Fallon for you to gloat to me, but now you're
reversed.
here.
Yes.
And we're not going to talk Eagles at all. So, but you know what? This film, right? It's amazing. I love what you do with these documentaries. You are a genius at this. And you know, Sly and the Family Stone. What kind of influence does Sly have on you growing up? And why do you want to make this documentary?
You know, timing is everything. You can't plan lightning in a bottle, and Sly just happened to come at a time period in which the paradigm shift was going to change culturally for music. He's one of the first black artists, really one of the first artists to sort of write confessional, like along with Dylan, the idea of not just doing love songs, but talking about how you feel inside or political things. Sly was out the gate with that. Sly was out the gate with multi-track recording, like doing crazy psychedelic ideas in his music, and also like the first to use drum machines.
Wow.
You know, when we say like bow chicka wow wow, like using a wah wah pedal, like everything that's modern music, Sly pretty much built the blueprint.
So he was ahead of his time. We're going to take a look at a clip. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
To me, one of the greatest things about Sly is he's letting us peer into something very free. The appearance, the clothing, even the wigs, it was from another world. When it came together as the sound, it was so future.
Yeah, no, thank you, Sly. You know, and that was 9-time Grammy winner Andre 3000 talking about Sly. Who else are we going to see in the film?
All of the talking voices have a purpose. It's Andre 3000, George Clinton, Shaka Khan, D'Angelo, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Nile Rodgers. The reason, like, the purpose of the documentary, of course, is to let the world know about Sly. But there's something else sort of brewing under, which is sort of like, why do we self-sabotage? And this is in any area. You can look in sports, you can look in acting, any profession. Like when you get success, why do we feel guilty about it? And why do we sabotage it? And Sly probably became more famous, even though he invented the alphabet for which we write many of musical books. The culture doesn't know him. They know him for like not showing up for shows, being late, being an addict. And, you know, instead of just saying like, oh, he became a drug addict, we wanted to focus more on what events in life makes you go there. And so these artists are the kind of the talking heads for what do artists go through.
Yeah, because his contributions were immense and they kind of got lost.
Yes.
And everything after that, and you're trying to bring him out so we can see who he really was. And one of the band's biggest hits was 1967 called Dance to the Music, which we all love. Who doesn't love this, right? But he wrote this to be sarcastic.
Yeah, so Sly made a genius debut of an album that got ignored. You know, think of like when you saw Kendrick's halftime performance and everyone had an opinion like, well, it was too many words. Like, I didn't get it. Like, I don't get it. And certain people were like, that was for the culture. Yeah. That was what Sly was. And his label basically told him, like, you got to kind of dumb it down. Like, people just want to dance to the music. They don't care about art. And so kind of as a proverbial middle finger, he was just like, all right, well, you want to dance to the music? Fine, dance to the music. And oftentimes, hits like that, which you're not overthinking, become phenomenon. So it kind of backfired. He meant it just as something sarcastic, and it became his defining hit. So
it's absolutely amazing. Yeah. Another amazing thing, tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
No, I'm not going to ask you to be my Valentine's. You're an Eagle fan. That wouldn't work. But one of the things I heard, your favorite Valentine's Day was a roller skating party with Prince.
Prince one time hit me at like 11 p.m. and was like, invite all the cool people over. I'm having a roller skating party. And I'm like, at 11 p.m. and literally, my girlfriend at the time and I wound up in a roller skating rink with Prince, who had these iridescent skates that sort of like Xanadu. They had sparks and lights and everything.
Lit up and
yeah, but I love weird Valentine's Day. Like in New York, the hardest place to get into on Valentine's Day, White Castle.
Really?
You can get into 11 Madison faster than you can get into White Castle. Like right now,
I'm gonna test it.
The only opening for is like 11 p.m. right now.
I'm gonna test it.
It's the most romantic night you'll have. Trust me. You think I'm joking? Look up. Try to get into the White Castle on Valentine's Day. You won't find it.
You may not have a Valentine as you take her to White Castle.
Nah.
I don't know. But hey, congratulations on this film, man.
Thank you so much.
Congrats to your Eagles too.
Yes.
I haven't forgot about that.
That's why I came in.
All right. Sly Lives, aka The Burden of Black Genius, is streaming on Hulu right now. Make sure you check it out. Now we're going to go to Ginger. Hey, Ginger.
I need to know if there's video of that Prince roller skating party, because I love hearing about it. Thank you, Michael. Okay, so get ready, everybody, to say bonjour to everyone's favorite Disney musical, Beauty and the Beast. It is starting this summer. A brand new tour of the blockbuster musical is going to more than 50 cities throughout North America. And this morning, we can reveal the casting of the main characters. Starring as Belle is Kira Bell Johnson, and playing the Beast, Fergie L. Philippe.
In the story now, one girl has found hope after experiencing seizures throughout her teens. She's using a new treatment that has made a big difference. Ariel's back with that story. Hey, Ariel.
Hey again, guys. This is remarkable. Clara's life-altering epilepsy left her with few options for relief, but she says that the new cutting-edge technology called Neuro1 dramatically changed her life, and now she's back to herself again. 18-year-old Clara Fuller couldn't sleep. Multiple seizures a night left her exhausted.
I went 4 years without a good night's sleep.
Clara, who grew up in Georgia, was diagnosed with epilepsy at 13 and went from the top of her class to napping in class. Her grades and life suffering.
This was heartbreaking. Of course, I was calling every doctor, going to every place I could think of to try to get her some type of treatment.
Medications didn't work, so this summer, Clara sought help in a new FDA-cleared brain implant called Neuro1 that can diagnose and treat epilepsy. Epilepsy is a condition that causes recurring seizures, affecting about 3 million people.
I started experiencing pain all across my chest and my head.
Brain surgery for drug-resistant epilepsy, like Clara's, usually entails 2 procedures. One locating the area in the brain where the seizures occur, and then ablation or removal of the brain tissue causing the seizures. Neuro1 now condensing that process into one procedure in which doctors implant thin electrodes in the brain that pinpoint where the seizures are occurring, using the same device to destroy the damaged tissue and monitor the brain afterwards.
It gives us that immediate feedback. The electrodes are in place and we can do the ablation and record the activity right away.
Doctors quickly saw they hadn't fixed Clara's seizures and did another ablation without the extra surgery. Clara has been seizure-free and sleeping soundly ever since.
I'm in college now, and I'm succeeding in college. I can be a teenager. This electrode is the best thing since sliced bread.
She is thriving. 11 patients have undergone this Neuro1 procedure. All of them are seizure-free, just like Clara. The company says the goal is for these devices to be applied to things like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, depression, even back pain, and even paralysis by delivering those therapeutics directly to the part of the brain that is affected. So imagine all these applications and how much hope that can give so many people.
Thank you, Ariel. Coming up, the director of Captain America: Brave New World tells us about joining the MCU.
We are back now with our countdown to Captain America: Brave New World, with a new star in the title role and a director new to Marvel. We talked with him about taking the helm. Director Julius Onah's first foray into the Marvel Cinematic Universe coming out with a bang.
It's a real dream come true. As a filmmaker, they really opened the door for me to come in, take what had been done in the past, but move it in a new direction.
The character of Captain America having a vast history across the MCU.
I really wanted to honor the legacy of what had come with the previous movies, but to treat this as a first film as well.
Also a first, Hollywood heavyweight Harrison Ford making his debut as Thaddeus Ross.
Harrison is somebody who's been circling this universe. He's been in these global franchises and properties, and he knows how important it is to an audience. So he really cares about every moment.
With plenty of twists and turns, it's a whole new world for Captain America.
People can expect to go on a wild ride that is incredibly entertaining, incredibly surprising, but also surprisingly emotional. So I really can't wait for people to get out there.
Captain America Brave New World is in theaters tomorrow, so now you got Valentine's Day plans if you didn't already, Lara.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Good job. All right, so now into something new on the ice. The NHL dropped the puck on its first ever Four Nations face-off tournament. Will is back now to tell us all about it without his jeans.
Right, fully suited up, but not like the NHL guys. This is the best players in the world coming from the U.S., Canada, Sweden, Finland, playing a round-robin tournament split between Montreal and Boston over the next week. It started last night. Based on what we've seen from just one game, these guys are gonna go hard.
Tonight, Team USA taking the ice, going head-to-head against Finland in the NHL's inaugural Four Nations face-off tournament.
What a play by Matthews!
Toronto Maple Leafs superstar center Austin Matthews is the captain of Team USA.
Matthews scores!
You look up and down the roster, there's so many elite players and great people, so just to have the opportunity to be a part of that is extremely special.
Matthew Tkachuk with the net empty! Tkachuk, ka-ching!
Also starring for the Stars and Stripes, Florida Panthers left wing Matthew Tkachuk.
Tkachuk, one-swipe score!
It's been so fun to play with guys I'd normally play against, so the skill level, the talent, everything is so high, the pace, everything is so amazing.
The 9-day event featuring NHL players representing the United States, Canada, Finland, and Sweden.
Mitch Marner scores!
And we're looking ahead to Saturday's round-robin matchup between Team USA and their long-term rival, Canada.
It's two of the best hockey nations facing off, and I think it's always a great atmosphere, great intensity, and just really good hockey.
And Canada won last night in overtime in front of the home crowd in Montreal. It really was a great game. They're trying really hard at this stuff. And you can see the U.S. face Finland tonight, 8 Eastern on ESPN. A whole lot of fun to break up the monotony of the late season.
All right, tomorrow, our biggest Valentine's Day event ever. A surprise proposal and wedding.
Wow.
Live right here on GMA.
For the price of one.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.